Warning, the following video includes opinions. Viewer discretion is advised. Also, spoiler alert.
So, Superman Legacy looks great, and I'm super excited to see it. However, Superman Legacy could not exist if the DCEU didn't. That is what I am ranking today. Most of these are bad. And here's a pro tip. Ripping your eyes out won't get rid of the trauma from watching these. However, this time I'm going to do something different. I'm going to go from best to worst, so you can watch my slow, painful descent into madness. Doesn't that sound fun? I want to die. One last thing before we start, I didn't watch these two. But with that out of the way, let's go. Who would have thought that Aquaman would end up being the coolest character in this universe? Like, Aquaman's whole thing is how lame he is. Like, oh wow, you can talk to fish. That's neat. It's got a pretty good story. It's nothing all that special, but it's pretty epic. It also has two great villains, Black Manta especially. They really did a good job at showing how much he hates Aquaman. There's only one problem with this movie, and that's this character. Like, she's literally such a nothing character. Also doesn't help that she's played by Amber Turd. Anyway, 8 out of 10, easily the best one. All downhill from here. This movie wants to be one thing and one thing only. Funny. And it is, most of the time. It has a very specific type of humor. It tries to be so cringy that it loops back around to being funny. And they did it! 7 out of 10. So there are two versions of the Justice League. One directed by Zack Snyder and one directed by Joss Whedon. This one is Zack Snyder's, and it is good. But I will say, Flash is pretty annoying. Remember this now. I'll be bringing this up countless times later on. But the biggest problem with this movie...
It's 4 hours long.
And I'm fine with watching long movies. I mean, I love Lord of the Rings for goodness sake. But if it's something that long, I need it to be peak. This is not peak. Also, it didn't need to be this long, because, you know, you could have just made more movies for doing your big crossover movie. You can't just spend most of the movie introducing characters in this movie. We should already know them. They should already have their own movies. And maybe you didn't need to give Aquaman his own movie before this, but Flash and Cyborg, who, by the way, takes up most of the time out of everyone in this movie, and most of it is just introducing him, both needed their own movies. I will say, though, Cyborg was actually a really good character in this. And I know I'm complaining a lot about this, but a lot of things should have just been its own separate movie. Though, those are really good. 7 out of 10. That was the last good movie. Well, this was mid. Wonder Woman fought a Greek god of war. You know, you'd think that'd be pretty epic, but, no. Also, the guy is, like, the most British person ever. Why? That's a fantastic question. I don't know. But what I do know is, Wonder Woman's theme, like the music, is peak. Oh my, it's so good. I added it to my playlist. I can't play it here because Warner Brothers would hire an assassin to kill me. Anyway, Wonder Woman is a 6 out of 10 movie. This movie is actually good-ish. Superman acts like Superman. Got a good villain. So why the heck is it here? Superman's dad dies in the dumbest way possible, and it ticks me off thinking about it. A tornado spawns out of nowhere. So naturally, they leave the truck they were in and run. Wait, the dog. Why'd you leave the dog? The dog! No! Dog! No! Why didn't you just leave the door open? You ended this dog's life prematurely because you couldn't open a door, you morons! The dad realizes this and goes back to save the dog. Yes, a true saint. So he does that, and then just stops and stands there. Then he dies. So let me ask you this. Why didn't you at least try to run back? Or you could have opened the freaking door! 5 out of 10. Also, this is the last mid one. The rest are bad. This was a letdown. First off, the jokes were not that good. There were still some funny jokes, but nowhere near as much as the first. But the worst joke here is the whole unicorn thing. Yeah, there are unicorns in this movie. We lost the plot here. I did not laugh. I did not chuckle. I did not smile at this. Also, this has the most bland and boring villain ever. But I don't really blame the writers for this awful villain. I'll explain why later, but yeah, this sucks. 3 out of 10. So, you know how I said Superman acts like Superman earlier? He doesn't anymore. He straight up murks a guy in like the first 5 minutes for literally no good reason. Yeah, that's a big deal. He does not kill unless it's the worst case scenario. Oh, and Batman is an absolute unit in this and kills literally absolutely everyone. He has no regard for human life. But, Batman's whole shtick is that he doesn't kill. Why is he such a menace here? Now, the backstory for this is Robin died, so Batman crashed out. Okay, that makes sense, but that should have been its own movie! And not just a brief cutaway to his costume. That honestly would have been such a great movie, but instead, no, we gotta compete with, Civil War because, we're stupid. Like, come on. Civil War had like 8-ish years of build-up to that. We didn't even get a Batman movie for this. Anyway, also, Lex Luthor just isn't Lex Luthor. Like, this is a completely different character. Although, I'll give it this. That character is good, but it's not a good version of the character he's supposed to be. I hope that made sense. But despite all of this, the movie is still good. The whole movie is, mostly build up for the big epic battle at the end between Batman and Superman. So anyway, we get to the final battle. Batman is about to beat Superman, but Superman yells, "Martha." And they stop fighting. Why? Well, it's because their mothers have the same name, Martha. I'm not joking. Their mothers have the same name, so now they're friends. That's stupid! It ruins the whole movie because it's all build up for nothing! But hey, at least the action is good. 3 out of 10. I predicted how this whole movie would go in the first 10 minutes. And I was right about absolutely everything. Anyway, this is a very forgettable movie. It's boring. I didn't like it. The story boiled down to family good, no family bad. And it's got 2 good jokes in it. 3 out of 10. I'm convinced that this movie was made by TikTokers. This went by so stupid fast. You had no time to process what's happening. This is how it goes. Oh, there's a bad wishing stone. Literally the next minute, World War III and everyone's gonna die. Also, Wonder Woman's boyfriend is back. How? Well, she wishes up to a rock, and then his soul takes over this random guy and boots him out. Oh, what? You think that's weird and downright evil? Well, too bad, because they act like it's totally normal and morally correct. What the heck is this movie? I will give this movie one thing. Villain was good. 2 out of 10. Man, I'm really excited for the Aquaman sequel.
Well, this sucks.
Dude, this had so much potential. It was so easy. Just make Black Manta be the main villain. Don't change his character, and it'll work. But nope, he's just a henchman. Again! Instead, we get this guy who we barely see, and the first thing he tells Black Manta to do is climate change. who is the real villain. Yes, this is Aquaman versus climate change. That's so dumb! Okay, well maybe Black Manta's still a good villain. No! He doesn't do anything! It's just the green guy! Black Manta is literally just a puppet! Oh, by the way, the green guy, he gets beat in 10 seconds! The whole movie is, oh no, green guy is super bad and scary. He gets beat so easily. 2 out of 10. So, Black Adam is supposed to be Shazam's main villain. Not in this for some reason. Why? It's The Rock's fault. Because, allegedly, The Rock has it in his contract that he can't lose a fight. So of course he can't be in Shazam 2 and lose to Zachary Levi. Are you kidding me? This is The Rock. He can't be beat. Even when he's like a main villain for another character and actively ruins another movie because of it. Anyway, this movie is just The Rock's power fantasy. It has almost nothing to do with Black Panther. It has almost nothing to do with Black Adam whatsoever. It's just The Rock. There are only 4 characters in this movie. The Rock. Those who glaze The Rock. Those who lose to The Rock. And Dr. Fate. Which, speaking of Dr. Fate is actually such a good character, and it makes me so mad that he was wasted on this awful movie. Dr. Fate was so good in this, I downloaded Injustice 2 just so I can play as him. Turns out I didn't like playing as him. I mained Green Arrow. Anyway, Dr. Fate couldn't save this movie. 2 out of 10. Now these last 3 are some of the worst movies I've ever seen. So this is the Justice League, directed by Joss Whedon. And it's trash! It's so bad! You know how Batman was an absolute menace earlier? Well, now he's been reduced to goofy goober status. In fact, everyone in this movie, except Wonder Woman, is a goofy goober. Oh, and you know how I said, they should have made more movies before? Well, at least in the other Justice League, they gave backstories. Here, they don't. So we have no clue who these characters are, unless you're a nerd or played Lego games. That's what I did. Oh, and the worst part of this movie, the jokes. Oh my goodness, it's so bad. It's not funny at all. Nothing is funny. Oh, remember when I said that the Flash was annoying? Well, he's a million times worse than this. He's so cringe and awful. 1 out of 10. YouTube is stupid, and I can't say the actual name. Anyway, this movie wants to be Guardians of the Galaxy so badly. And it just sucks. Man, it's boring. There were 18 million licensed songs. Oh, and did I mention that there isn't a single good joke in this movie? It's unbelievably unfunny. But the worst sin of this movie, the Joker. Name a bigger downgrade. I dare you. We went from Heath Ledger Joker, who is one of, if not, the best and most quotable villain in cinematic history. So how do you try to one-up the best adaptation of the Joker that perfectly captures his insanity and criminal genius? Making him a pervert weirdo. That's all they did. And it's so bad. Oh my goodness, bro. Thank God he was only in the movie for 7 minutes. But that was 7 minutes too many. 1 out of 10. I'm convinced half the thought process for this movie is, no way home put Tommy Maguire and Tom Holland in the same movie. We can do that too. And that's why Michael Keaton is Batman again. But I'll give it this, he's good in this movie, and so is Supergirl. So what's wrong with this movie? Literally everything else! First off, you know how I said the Flash was really annoying? Well, now, there is another. And this one is somehow even more annoying than the original Flash! This is the most cringe movie to get through! I hated every second of it! Ah! And you know what the story is about? Well, the Flash goes back in time to keep his mom from dying, okay? But that screws everything up. So more of the story, you can't change the past. Guess what he does at the end of the movie? He changes the past again and screws everything up! Like, did you learn nothing? And did I mention how freaking annoying both the Flashes are? Like, how? Bro, I don't think that I can properly put into words how much I hate both the Flashes in this movie, okay? They're just the worst. I hate them. I despise the way they are in this movie. They are the most annoying characters ever made. They're so cringe. They're so annoying. I hate them.
Come on, Barbie. Let's go party?
One out of 10. And now future me with the Superman Legacy review. Man, I forgot how unhinged I was during that. Anyway, holy cow, this is way better than any of the movies I've talked about in this video. First off, without getting into spoilers, Lex Luthor is so comedically petty in this. And that is Lex Luthor to a T. Not this philosophical character we got in Batman v Superman. And there isn't much more I can say about him without getting into spoilers, but just know the stuff he does is wild. Secondly, Superman. In Man of Steel, while having the personality of Superman, he wasn't presented how Superman should be presented. Superman is still a man, in that he was shown to be like a god. In this, he is human. He has struggles, he gets angry, he has relationships, he has a dog who, by the way, acts almost exactly like mine, to a point where it's uncanny. But anyway, back to Superman. One thing I love about this is they make it clear that he isn't just trying to stop the bad guy, he's trying to save every civilian there, which is why there's so many. It's not because they can't leave, it's because they know they don't have to. But in Man of Steel, that isn't the case at all. Also, one of the key parts of Superman is how he is a beacon of hope, and they pulled that off so well in this. I'm not even sure they tried in Man of Steel, but in this, it works perfectly. Yeah, overall, this movie was fantastic, and I can't wait to see where this universe goes next. 9 out of 10. Clears everything I've talked about. Well, anyways, that's the ranking. Later.